Okay, starting off in the holodeck, and I have my enable VR hardware ticked. So right now I should be able to click on done and end up in the cockpit. Today we're basically talking about FlyWithLua in VR. So click on done. Hopefully I end up in the cockpit. So this is a demo script of the library ImGui, and as you can see, when you have a script that is not hidden to begin with, when you get launched into the cockpit, the script window is basically attached to your headset. So if I move my headset back and forth, you see the window. I find this annoying, and so most of the scripts that I try to write, I try to make them hidden from the beginning. So to get it unattached, if I pick up here, you can see there's a green bar. I hold down with the trigger button, and I can move this out of my way. So this is a demo window of ImGui that Falco, who was very instrumental in bringing both the floating, but basically allowing FlyWithLua to work in VR. Falco is the guy. He figured out how to do it, and we started out with just floating windows, and he added the ImGUIs. So, and he made this demo. So I'm just going to show a little bit of how it looks in VR. A cool thing is it's like images. So if I click on the image, and I have to open the window up a little bit to see it, but I'm in VR, and it looks just like it does in 2D. So I'll close this up, make this a little bit smaller again. And I'm just going to pick a couple of things. So buttons, if I hit push me, you can see that the text changes color. If I click and hold, you can see that the text kind of flutters. So these are radio buttons. So only one of these are a valid choice at any one time. So let me think here a minute. So I think for right now that'll be okay for that. But like I said, I find it extremely, especially in VR, it's extremely important that when you first get into the cockpit, I gotta rearrange myself a little bit here. I'm not quite aligned with my yoke, so. Oh, there we go. That's better. I find it. I mean, when I get into a VR cockpit, I don't want anything in front of my headset. I just want it to be free, so I can, use the manipulators, get myself basically set in the seat correctly where I want to be and where I can fly. And so the next one I'm going to show is a demonstration of floating windows, and the floating window that I'm going to use, it is hidden right now. So if I squeeze on my touch controller, squeeze the grips, the flower menu shows up, and this is advanced menu. So I hit the trigger, and I'm going to go down to plugins, down to FlyWithLua macros. And I have one that's CPU, GPU times open and close. So basically it's hidden right now. So when I click on the trigger, it will open. Now you notice that it showed up attached to my touch controller. Whenever you use a menu selection to bring your a plugin or a script or anything, that's where it will be if it's a menu selection. In the beginning, when VR starts, anything that will open immediately, that will be attached to your headset. So in this case, it was attached to my touch controller. Now I'm kind of looking at it and I see I got a bit of a problem. This is decoration style 3. 3 means that it should be transparent. So I'm going to go ahead and close it here. And then I'm going to try to open it again and just to see if it works, if it starts to act like it should. Now this is already said to be open, so it's going to close it. And I'll try to open it again. Yes, now it shows up the way I was hoping it would. What is going on is in the script, the FlyWithLua script, there is a variable that basically is seeing if it was when the script run, if it was in VR. When I first opened up the script and it was a solid window, it thought that it was still in 2D. So when I closed it, reopened it, now it is correct where it's like I like things where you can actually like see right through them. So you notice the decoration style is still a 3. So I'm not so sure why that didn't cleanly start this way, but it does. I wrote this script for a reason that I wanted to have the same information that you have in 2D on the CPU time, GPU time, and the frames per second. I also have it here on my FPS VR. The only problem is FPS VR only works in Windows, and I want to fly VR in Linux. So I'm trying to find and make tools that will allow me to get similar information, but they'll be available multi-platform. And because this is a FlyWithLua script, it's multi-platform. So, and that's what this decoration style. It basically is transparent. So you don't have the background and you don't have a title, but the information is still available and it works. So, and actually today is like a really overcast day today, and I'm still getting, with running with my Valve Index. I mean, I'm still getting over 50 frames a second. So I'm actually, I'm like really happy with this Valve Index, and I'm running it at 120. The frequency of the displays are 120 hertz. It'll go up to 144, but right now I'm like at 120, and I don't see an impact in frames per second that would affect me having a fluid response. So I think that's pretty much it for now. Yeah, I just wanted to kind of show a couple of strips of FlyWithLua in VR to just show like what's possible and the two different kinds of windows. So this would be called a floating window, and which basically is a window that uses OpenGL to basically populate the window. So it doesn't have built-in buttons and that kind of stuff. On the other hand, this window over here, this demo window, this is ImGui. So ImGui has all kinds of things to that have, buttons, sliders. Cooperate. Drag controls. So it has all kinds of things, that that the OpenGL stuff you would have to create yourself. The only disadvantage that I have with ImGui is, as you can see, it's a solid window. In VR, I really, really, really don't want to have my view blocked by anything, and as you can see, I can't see that hangar in front of me where this window is. Now, I can put it down out of the way, and that's fine, you know, but I much would rather I could find a way where it looks like this, where the background is transparent, and then you actually see the text in front of the transparent background. Haven't figured out a way to do that yet. I am on a search, but haven't quite got there yet. A few other things are kind of taking up my attention and time right now. Doing videos like this is one of them. I think that's pretty much all for now. Like I said, I was just trying to demonstrate the possibilities that once we had FlyWithLua, that we could actually make windows that work in 2D and VR with no change to the code. It'll work in 2D. If the script is used in VR, it will be in VR. So all for now, and I will end the video now.